Just past halfway in Chicago. Time now to take a look at our Verizon race summary. 2 lead changes among 2 different drivers. Average speed just over 145 miles per hour. Under our 3rd caution. And we've been under caution for 12 laps tonight. Going back green, Jamie McMurray, the race leader. He once again takes the inside lane, and now another Hendrick driver to the outside. This time it's Jeff Gordon. Michael Waltrip racing right behind. Truex on the inside, the outside to Rudeman in row 2.
He's got the restarts figured out.
Yeah, the inside lane's been good to him. So Paul Menard hanging tough inside the top 10. Boyer and Burton now up there out of the RCR camp. They've looked good. Here's the battle for 6th. Those 2 cars nose to tail inside of Carl Edwards.
All of a sudden these guys they got a little more step in them. I mean, with the 48 out of the picture, all these guys think they've got a chance now. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, the Johnson's back in 24. It's going to take a while for him to work through this traffic and get back up there. I think he will before the night's over. But trust me, when you see a guy like that that's been dominant have problems, all of a sudden everybody steps up a little bit more.
And it's kind of like, and I know this sounds strange, but it's kind of like Tiger being in a golf tournament. When he doesn't make the cut, or when he had his problems, everybody else stepped up and they're like, okay, it's our time to shine. We can take this tournament. We can do that. It's the same way this thing is. Jimmy's dominated the sport for the last 4 years. So when a guy like that has trouble, everybody else says, okay, this is my shot. I got a chance at winning a race here.
That's David Rudeman on the inside of Martin Truex Jr. for 3rd. Mark Martin won this race a year ago, racing with Joey Logano, and they're going at it for a position right around 20th. Sam Hornish Jr. hanging right there as well, although he is 1 lap down.
Keep your eye on the 5 car right there. They get real loose, and Matt did a nice job seeing it coming and dove down to the apron.
Mark Martin fell out of the chase a week ago, was 11th entering Daytona.
I'm surprised how many loose cars we have right now, even though, you know, the temperature has dropped, the track's gotten cooler. But I'll tell you what, you know, I would have expected more cars to be tighter than loose. Marty?
Exactly right, Wally. Normally, when we see this happen, a track gets tighter, right? Well, for some reason, this track, as Matt was mentioning earlier, last night got looser, and all the drivers are saying it's getting looser the longer they run. Mark Martin, that's been the case. He's had a loose race car the entire night, but that last run, Mark told the guys, that's the best we've been. I think as this track cools down, we'll get even a little bit better, guys.
And that's really your hope. Normally how it goes when you're at this time in a night race and you know it's going to get darker, you know it's going to get cooler, you hope the track tightens up. So if you're a little bit loose, the track actually will come to you. That's your hopes anyway.
And some drivers who are starting to get closer and closer to the front as that happens. We saw Clint Boyer go around David Rudeman for 4th, and right behind him his teammate.
See Boyer here working on the 56. Boy, he got a really good jump there. And just pulled up on the back of the 56. And like I said, these cars are already on edge. When you have somebody pull up on your bumper and you're loose, it makes it just a little bit worse because it takes the air off your rear spoiler.
And you saw the 56 right there with the 33. Think about the 56 and the 48 a minute ago, how close they were. It was almost the exact same thing. And you know, Jimmy never really said, he run over me, he got into me. I think they just got so close when the car took off, it just took off.
Truex on a little bit of a slide since the green flag went back in the air. Saw Boyer go around, Burton did the same, and now Carl Edwards working on Truex. This for the 6th position. More on Truex with Ralph.
Well, they've been working on the air pressures on that 56. So right now, the technical term is squishy. That's what the tires are in the center of the corner. So he says he can't get the car to turn in the middle of the corner.
Aerodynamics always key, as you guys just pointed out. When you come to one of these mile-and-a-half racetracks, it can be very difficult for the teams, Larry.
Well, I think one thing that's caught all these teams off guard is these cars are loose tonight. Everyone anticipated that into the night these cars were going to get tighter. Now, we talked in the countdown to the green. One difference we've got here from a year ago is the rear spoiler. We don't have that wing. Even though this was a change at the back of the car, it actually put more front downforce on the front of the car that makes the car looser. What I've noticed here several times, we saw it with the 48 car, we saw it with the 5 car, is when a car gets right here on that left rear, it kind of pushes the air against here and makes it looser. I think one thing that could be causing that is this shark fin, because that's a difference on these cars this year in 2010 once we added the rear spoiler.
That's a good point. With the spoiler, or with the wing, you had end caps, and they were a little square piece, probably 8 or 10 inches long, square, you know, from perfectly square almost when you really look at it. And they were different shapes and different sizes, so you could really create downforce or give up some drag with just the end caps, not only the wing, just the end caps. What they tried to do with these cars was to keep that same side force, but that piece is farther inboard than what the end caps were. And it could be that it's just packing up in that space there, and as the air packs up in that space, it takes these things around. Remember, these guys talked about it earlier in the pre-race, where this is just a round racetrack, so you're constantly turning. So if your car's loose, it's loose a long time.
Wally, you've talked several times tonight about how good Greg Biffle felt about his car, and he's really proved it inside the top 10, and he just got around Truex. He's now up to the 7th position.
Yeah, the car looks really, really good, you know, after they make a pit stop and up to about halfway through the run. The last couple times they look like they've lost some ground towards the end of the run. If they can make the car better, especially towards the end of the run, I really think that Biffle's got, you know, he's got something to have a really great finish tonight.
Biffle, a driver that needs to have a good run. He's still flirting with that chase break point. He entered this evening's race 10th in the standings. Jamie McMurray started on the pole. He's been impressive all night long. He leads at Chicago.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Racing from Chicago is brought to you by the Home Depot, proud sponsor of Joey Logano and the number 20 team. Race fans, visit homedepot.com for all your home improvement needs. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Jamie McMurray continues to lead as the sun goes down in Chicago. No big changes inside the top 10. And right outside the top 10, Juan Pablo Montoya, a driver who has dealt with his fair share of issues this evening.
Picking up a vibration in the right rear. I think we've got a loose tire. Yeah, it's loose. Absolutely, 100%. Someone leaning like, it does that.
His best run here was a year ago when he finished 10th. He's dropping like a rock right now, and he's running at 11th.